Hey guys, Nacho Supreme here, keeping it going with another little tutorial on car customization and delivery editor in here in Gran Turismo 7. I've got this highly modified Shelby GT350. Right now it's in a stock outward appearance, a stock livery. It's kind of got a little bit of a sleeper look. I'm going to show you how I did that. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and put it in one of my Restomod styles that I made for it earlier. I'm going to put it in red hot. This is the red hot Restomod style that I put together a little earlier. So so say I have this. Looks pretty aggressive, looks pretty dang cool if you ask me, and I hope you agree. But here's how I'm going to put it back to stock. So first thing, I'm going to come in here to the wheels. I'm going to get the stock wheels in the stock size, and I'm going to just put those on. Then I'm going to come over here to the livery editor and hit restore original. Then it's going to put back all of that stuff. Then I need to make sure, and by all that stuff I mean the livery, i.e. The paint, any kind of decals, anything like you might have on some of the racing cars, the tire stickers, things like that. That's all right there. So the other thing we need to do is to make sure that all the hard parts over here and the custom parts are all back to factory parts. So standard parts there, standard parts there, standard parts there, and then we're going to come in here, make sure we don't have anything, modified on there. Standard parts, other parts. We go light bulb, same thing. We're going to put that back to standard parts. License plate, same thing there. Caliper color. This car does have the carbon brakes. It's kind of a performance build, like I said. So I'm going to leave the brake calipers gold because I'm classy like that. And we'll back out of there. Now, the other thing that we need to do is we need to pick a paint color. So what I was going to do, I'm going to just create a new design. I wanted to make one a green version of this car. I was going to call it Be Green, because we're real concerned about saving the earth and being efficient with our resources, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pick a green color that I have in here. Doesn't have to be a Ford color. I generally like to do that. Don't have to do that every single time. I might go with you know what? As it turns out, this is a Ford green color that I like on here. So I'm going to do something like that. Now here, this is going to be pretty cool. What we're going to do is we're going to get a decal, and we're going to black out the trim. Now trim is generally considered other, so we're going to click on other over here, and we're going to come down here and add a layer, and we're going to select camera and click on the roof. Now we're going to get this big square decal, and we're going to turn it black because we're going to black out the trim. Then, this is important, we're going to up the angle and the depth all the way to make sure that it catches every little nook and cranny of all the trim. Now that's going to catch all of this bright work all around the cabin area. I should say the cockpit, because we're talking about high performance cars here, right? And then the trim all around the bumpers and everything and all that stuff right there. So we'll come back up to the top here. We're going to edit this decal, and with our right thumbstick we're going to pull it to the right, and that's going to grow the decal all the way out as big as it can go, out to 1000%. And there we go. Okay, so now our trim is black, which is pretty cool, right? So now we've got glossy black trim and the green car. Another thing we can do, this is kind of, black trim 2.0 stuff, is we can take and hit triangle when we're in that decal, and we can put this opacity back down to a certain level and kind of make a little bit of a gunmetal chromy sort of look like that. I'm not doing that here. I'm just going to leave it just black, but there's another trick that you can try. So, and the only thing on this car that doesn't get is the side mirror. So I'm going to go ahead and get a just a happy little circle there. And we're going to go ahead and grow the angle and the depth all the way. Kind of made a little point on the end there on accident. But we're just going to grow it just enough to cover that mirror there. So it's also in black. We'll finish that. Now if this car had a mirror on the other side, what we would do is we'd get back into that decal and we'd click duplicate symmetrically, and that would put another decal just like that on the other side symmetrically. If you're dealing with anything that has a print in it, that'll reverse the print also because it makes it a mirror image. So in that case you'd want to hit duplicate on opposite side. So anyway, enough about that. So if we don't want to leave this blacked out trim glossy, we can come down here and put it in like a semi-glossy. That's usually my favorite, something like that. Now I know on this one I want my wheels to be the same color as the trim, so I'm going to get back in here to the paint. Now the trim I have, remember, in that kind of semi-gloss satin black, so I'm going to paint the wheels satin black. K3 is the darkest satin black that we have available, so we're going to click on that. We're going to hit OK on that, and now we have this sort of design here that's sort of kind of locked in. Remember, we haven't changed everything here. We're not 100% done, so but this looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to put a bunch of decals all over this thing. I'm going to leave it kind of monochrome, look a little bit like this. I'm going to save this. I'm just going to call it B green. We're going to go OK. It's going to save that, and then once we are done saving that, we need to pick which wheels we want. Now what's cool is whatever wheels we put on, I will show you the trick to changing the wheels back to the black color that we just locked in when we created this design. So we don't have to go back in and repaint them every time we want to turn them satin black again. Right, so that makes it a little easier here. So now we've got this bee green Restomod style here. I think we want to probably check out some custom parts here. I think, maybe we want to get a little bit more aggressive. That I'm not so much of a fan of. I think we're going to go with that here. We're going to go with the rear. I'm going to keep the bumper, and then we're going to do no wing on the back because there's no, I kind of wish there was a little lip spoiler available for this car, but there's not, so we're just going to go wingless on this car. Now in the racing items, we already have a factory hood pin there. I'm not going to do a tow hook because I'm not going to need one. And in the other parts, I think with this one, I'm going to go with my normal daylight headlight bulbs. I only want a rear license plate, so we'll do something like that. And the caliper color, I think I'll go green on this one too, just to keep with the theme of the car. Now the last thing we have to do is look at some wheels. So what do we want to put on our Restomod here? We want to do something kind of unique that you don't see all the time. They are going to be bright green, so we want something with some cool style that's going to look pretty good. So one of the questions is, do you want something with a lip or not? Sometimes the wheels with lips, the lips take the paint, and sometimes they don't. So that's something you'll just have to experiment with, and I'm sure you're like me and you'll find wheel designs that you like and you'll use those more often than some of the others. That's pretty common. So I think I might go with something like this, keeping with kind of an old school look, maybe in a 16-inch size, wide. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see what that looks like. Now what's cool is we can paint that wheel, like I mentioned, without going back into the whole livery editor and repainting the wheel. All we have to do is open our designs, click on it again, and then hit apply design, and then it puts the wheels into that color. So let's try that one more time with another set of wheels so we can see the difference a little bit better. So maybe we'll try, these are kind of a unique look here. So let's put these into maybe a 17 on a wide wheel. Now this car is a wide body car. I'm not sure why I can't put wide wheels on it. It's just, you know, like they say, that's life. So anyway, so like I said, we don't have to repaint the wheels. We can just come back in here and reapply the style, or the design. So we'll open this design, we'll do that, and then now we've got that in the satin black. I was kind of trying to figure out, did I want the wheels satin black on this, or do I want them green? I really like the black. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I'm going to save this off as the Be Green Restomod. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.